Have you noticed this? Everyone has a thing on the side now. Your Uber driver runs a YouTube channel. Your coworker flips products on Amazon. Your cousin is selling Notion templates on TikTok. This isn't just hustle culture or get-rich-quick hype. Something fundamental has changed in the American economy. In the next few minutes, you'll see why millions of Americans in 2026 feel they have no choice but to start side hustles, and why the creator economy, inflation, and a new wave of layoffs are all colliding to make side income the new normal. If you're new here, welcome. Today's video breaks down the real economic forces behind the side hustle explosion in 2026. How inflation quietly cut your paycheck, why white-collar and AI-driven layoffs shattered trust in stable jobs, and how the creator economy made it easier than ever to turn skills and attention into money. Stay till the end, because there's a big mindset shift you need if you want your side hustle to protect you, not just burn you out. The cost of living trap. Why one salary feels broken. Let's start with the question, if inflation is coming down, why does life still feel so expensive? Between 2021 and 2023, the US went through the worst inflation spike in about 40 years. Prices for basics, rent, groceries, gas, utilities, jumped fast. Even though the official inflation rate has cooled off closer to normal, those prices never went back down. Here's what that means in simple terms. Your paycheck might be a bit higher than it was a few years ago, but rent is a lot higher. Food is higher. Insurance and debt payments are higher. So on paper, wages are up, but in real life, your spending power feels down. That gap is exactly where side hustles come in. Surveys show a huge share of Americans now say they need extra income just to cover basic expenses, not luxuries. For many people, that second income isn't about getting ahead, it's just about not falling behind. Layoffs, AI, and the death of job security. Now add a second layer, job insecurity. Official unemployment looks okay. The headline numbers don't scream crisis, but under the surface, something else is happening. Waves of layoffs, especially in white-collar jobs people used to think were safe. Tech, finance, media, even some professional services, all have been hit with big round after big round of cuts. 2024 and 2025 saw some of the highest layoff numbers since the Great Recession. And early 2026 opened with one of the worst January layoff totals in over a decade. And then there's AI. For the first time, companies are openly saying, we're cutting jobs because AI can do this work now. That hits coders, copywriters, designers, customer support, even some analyst roles. These aren't low-skill jobs. They're the kind of careers people borrowed 6 figures in student loans to get. So imagine you're a mid-career professional. Your cost of living is permanently higher. You've watched colleagues with similar resumes get laid off, sometimes more than once. You're hearing that AI can replace chunks of your job. Are you really going to rely on one paycheck from one employer? Or are you going to build a backup plan? That backup plan, whether it's freelancing, consulting, an online store, or a YouTube channel, is exactly what we call a side hustle. The rise of multi-income lives. You can see the trend in the data. Government stats show the number of Americans holding more than one job is at or near the highest level in about 25 years. Surveys from banks and research firms show anywhere from a quarter to nearly half of adults say they have some kind of side hustle or gig. Most of them aren't running massive businesses. They're doing things like driving a few hours a week for Uber or DoorDash, picking up freelance projects online, tutoring or coaching on the side, selling things on Etsy, Amazon, or eBay, or making small but real money from digital content. And here's the key. For a big share of these people, that side income is essential. It's covering rent, groceries, minimum payments on credit cards, or medical bills. So when you hear everyone has a side hustle now, that's not just a social media trend. It's a reflection of how fragile one-income life feels in 2026. How the creator economy changed the game. Now let's talk about the upside, the creator economy. 20 years ago, if you wanted extra income, your options were limited. A second shift, a weekend job, maybe some local freelancing. In 2026, you can post on YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram, sell digital products, courses, or templates, run a paid newsletter or membership community, partner with brands as a micro-influencer, or license your skills on platforms like Upwork and Fiverr. The creator economy has grown into a market worth hundreds of billions of dollars globally, and it's still expanding fast. Millions of people now earn some money online from content and digital products, and over 1 million, just in the US, are doing it full-time. But here's the important nuance. Most creators are not full-time. They're using content and digital products as side hustles. A teacher making extra from online lesson plans, a designer selling templates, a fitness trainer running paid challenges on Instagram, a finance nerd posting videos and courses on budgeting or investing. Technology lowered the barriers dramatically. A decent phone, cheap editing apps, and now AI tools for scripting, editing, thumbnails, and research make it far easier to start. You don't need a studio or a team to test an idea anymore. So when people feel pressure from inflation and layoffs, the creator economy suddenly becomes a very attractive outlet. Flexible, low cost to start, and with, theoretically, unlimited upside. Why Gen Z is leading the side hustle wave. Another big piece of the puzzle is generational. Gen Z and younger millennials are more comfortable online, more open to non-traditional careers, and much less trusting of the work 40 years at one company model. Surveys consistently show over half of Gen Z has some kind of side gig or side hustle. They don't see it as disloyal to their employer. They see it as smart. To them, a 9-to-5 is one income stream, a side hustle is a second stream, and a personal brand is long-term career insurance. The creator economy fits perfectly with how they already live, on their phones, on social platforms, building communities around niche interests. So when the economy gets shakier, inflation, layoffs, AI, they're the first to respond by doubling down on side income. From extra cash to economic strategy. Put all of this together and the story becomes clear. Inflation made everyday life more expensive, faster than wages could keep up. Layoffs and AI made a single corporate job feel temporary, even for professionals. The creator and gig economies made starting a side hustle cheaper, easier, and more socially acceptable than ever. So side hustles have evolved from, I want some extra cash for fun, to, I need a second income just to feel safe. For some, it's pure survival. For others, it's insurance. And for a growing minority, it's a long-term bet. Build something now that could eventually replace the day job. How to think about your own side hustle, quick framework. If you're watching this because you're considering or already running a side hustle, here's a simple way to think about it like an economist, not just a hustler. Define the role. Is your side hustle for survival, paying bills, security, a backup plan, or opportunity, Long-term upside? Your strategy depends on this. Match it to your constraints. If you're time poor but have skills, lean toward high-value freelancing or consulting. If you're cash poor but have time, consider content plus audience building, where money comes later. If you need cash immediately, gigs like driving, delivery, or simple freelancing can start paying fastest. Use AI and platforms as leverage, not crutches. Let tools speed up your work, research, scripts, designs, editing, but compete on what AI can't do well: trust, personality, creativity, deep expertise. Think in portfolios, not jobs. The 2026 reality is most people will cycle through multiple jobs and multiple income streams. Treat your career like a portfolio of skills and income sources, not a single bet on one employer. Side hustles aren't going away. They're becoming the default way Americans respond to a world where prices are high, jobs feel uncertain, and the internet finally lets anyone turn skill plus attention into money. If you found this breakdown useful and want more deep dives into how the economy really affects your money, hit like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Are you running a side hustle right now? Is it for survival, security, or opportunity? Your answer says a lot about where you sit in the 2026 economy, and it might shape what you should do next.